Was Coach Pritchard like as a teammate in the locker room?
Tavita, so he and I, we actually met on our official visit. We were there at the same time, and I got to know him well there. And then, obviously coming in the same freshman class, he is a magnetic person, and he was like that from day one. And he's the kind of guy who people want to rally around. And he was also the kind of guy who he could connect with everybody in the locker room regardless of where they are from, what their socioeconomic background, or what their ethnicity was. Like, it didn't matter, religion, anything, like belief system. Tavita could connect with them, and he's always been that way. And it's part of what part of his superpower. And it's not just that people like him, because like a lot of people are likable, but it goes far beyond that. It's that he makes people around him better, and he helps amplify people to be the best version of themselves. And he was a tremendous leader during his time. And the way he came onto the scene in the 2007 upset of USC, it's 41.5 point underdogs, and throwing the game winning touchdown on fourth and goal from the 10. That's the, like, that kind of, he's got a little bit of that irrational confidence, right? That Coach Harbaugh had. He's got a little of that belief that maybe isn't justifiable when you look at from the outside in, but it doesn't matter what the outside in thinks, right? Because he operates with that belief, and he brings the people around him up to that level. And we all, like, when our senior year in 2009, when he was the backup to Andrew, like, it was a foregone conclusion that he was going to go into coaching. Everyone knew that was his calling. That was the path for him. He was already effectively a coach on the field for the entire offense, not just for Andrew in the quarterback room, but like he had so much respect from his teammates because of his work ethic, his intelligence, his natural football IQ, that it was just, again, it was magnetic. And so, it was, and his early days in his career coaching at Stanford and working his way up the ranks, it was really cool to see him put everything that we saw in those early days into action as an actual coach on the staff, and working his way up into the different hierarchies of opportunity and responsibility. Was really cool. And I remember in the, like, early, because you mentioned I briefly coached as a graduate assistant in Syracuse, and I left coaching after one season and moved back out to the Bay Area from New York and went south to Vita. And I remember talking like, dude, one day you're going to be the head coach here. Like, it's going to happen. I can see it. And and here we are. That was probably, I don't know, 15 years ago, and it happened.